Hello, so we are going to pick back up in Psalm 1 and let's go actually to Psalm 1 verse 2. We are finally hit February and we're going into the second verse in this chapter. But I love digging in. I really do love digging into the meat of the word. So let's read that verse together. It says, but. So, this is the very first word and we're going to stop. But in Psalm 1:1, we are told all the things that the blessed one does not do. So blessed is the man who walks not, nor sits, nor stands inactive, nor sits and rests with the mockers and the scornful. But, so these are the things that he doesn't do. So Psalm 1:2 is now going to tell us what he does do. Blessed is the life that does this. Blessed is the one who follows these steps. Again, after he's told us what not to do, now he's telling us what the blessed life does look like. And so, Psalm 1 verse 2. His delight and desire are in the law of the Lord, and on his law, Amplified Classic breaks that down, on his law, the precepts, teachings, and the instructions of God, he habitually meditates, ponders, and studies by day and by night. So the blessed one finds his delight and desire in the law of the Lord. And on his law, precepts, instructions, and teachings of God, he habitually meditates, ponders, and studies by day and by night. As I am reading this, I'm thinking about that is absolutely contradictory to our nature, to crave instruction, guidance, rules, boundaries, that we in our sinful nature and in our flesh want to do what we want to do. Also, we want to eat what we want to eat. I'm thinking I won't even really go into all that, but looking at food and its value, what it provides to us versus what I want to eat. And so most people don't want to just go into the refrigerator and pull out a veggie tray. They'd rather go to the pantry and pull out potato chips or something other than the healthy, clean food. Of course, now with the proliferation of information and what is available, and that knowledge is power, and we're learning how good food is for us and how bad the bad stuff is for us. And so, but we learn to crave what we put into our systems. That's just like in any kind of drug or your coffee and your caffeine. As I'm saying that, my cup of coffee is right here beside me. Although I don't have a lot every day, but I do enjoy a good cup. I'm not gonna put it back without having a sip. But and then if you don't have that coffee, a lot of people get terrible headaches, and it's caffeine withdrawals. It's withdrawal from that caffeine. But we crave the things that we eat. If you eat a lot of sugar, you're gonna want that sugar. But on the other hand, if you put good food and good fuel into your body, you're gonna start craving that. And so while at first it may seem unnatural or like you're making yourself get into this word, in the same way that, and this is a true story, I hated cucumbers, I hated tomatoes, bell peppers, broccoli. Pretty much the only vegetable I would eat was green beans. But after I had my first child, after I had Joseph, I did clean eating. I started just eating clean, and so there's no processed foods on that. And I had to learn how to enjoy and like better foods. So I learned, and this is honest to goodness, I learned to eat tomatoes and cucumbers when I started eating clean. I trained my body to crave those things, and I still do. I really do enjoy cucumber on my salad. If I don't have a cucumber, I feel like there's really no reason in having a salad. It's like it's empty without it. And tomatoes. I will eat tomatoes on my salad. But again, I had to teach myself, I had to make myself, I had to do it diligently in order to develop a craving for that. I hope that that makes some kind of sense to you. But in the same way that we train our body to enjoy certain foods and that we train our body to crave certain foods, we also train our spirit to crave the Word. So our spirits are hungry. We're created with this hole which only God fits. And so we are constantly seeking and searching and grabbing and craving. And some people turn to things of the world and that hole is never filled, and they're still hungry. But when we turn to the Father and we begin to eat His Word, like eating that cucumber at first was really not the thing that I wanted to do, but it was good for me. Again, the Word of God, good for me. And then the more I ate, the more I craved. The more I ate, the more I craved. And that truly is what happened with me in the Word too. I began reading the Word of God because I needed to, and I knew that was what I needed to do. But then the more I began to read, the more He began to call. And the more I began to read, the more He would begin to call. And then I crave the Word to such an intensity now. I have such a passion and love for it, but it didn't start that way. And so we do have to train ourselves to want, to crave the right things. I'll repeat that I think the knowledge of what's good for us, the benefits of the Word or the benefits of those vegetables, help us to really prioritize doing this for my benefit. This is good for me. This is what I need. This is going to give me strength for the days ahead. This is going to bring wisdom for me. This is going to bring guidance for me. And so if we look at those benefits, it's going to really help push us to take the next step. So anyway, we'll pick up here tomorrow and I will see you then. Bye.